Hi guys, welcome back to Cardz TV. It's time for Tuesdays with Expression, and today we're going to do card number 7 in the 12 Days of Christmas card series. And we're going to reach way back into the Cricut Vault and pull out the Wild Card cartridge and Joys of the Season. We'll be using this Paper Studio Snowflake embossing folder. Love that. It's so pretty. We're going to use some gold ribbon that's got a wire in each edge so we can have a formed bow. We'll use some of these Royal Jewels in red from the Royal Castle shop. That's where you can find those. We're going to use our Wink of Stella pen. This is clear. And for our sentiment, we're going to use the Cardz TV Christmas Joy stamp set, and we'll use this really pretty font down here that says Merry Christmas. So let's get started on card number 7. This card is going to be an A2 size, or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you can see that it has a hole cut in the front. And I found this card in the Wild Card cartridge on page 69. I used this once before, I think for a Halloween card. But here it is right here, and I've cut this out of white at 5 1/2 inches. Now it has a liner also that's going to go on the front, and I've cut this 3 times out of white. I left 2 of them plain, and then this one I ran through that Paper Studio Snowflake embossing folder. And rather than pop this up on foam tape, I'm going to take my Tombow Mono Multi, and I'm just going to glue these 3 together so it's got a little bit of thickness and it'll make it a little bit sturdier. And then I'm going to attach this to the front just like that. And you also cut this liner at 5 1/2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and get these glued together, and then I'll show you what comes next. I've got my 3 liners glued together, and it made them a lot sturdier. And I'm going to pop this up on the front just like this, just using my ATG gun. But before I adhere this, I'm going to take a pencil and very lightly I'm just going to put a few marks so that I can go ahead and stamp my sentiment on the inside so that it will show through right here. And you can see there I've just got 4 marks, and after I stamp I'll be able to erase this because they're very light. And I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas right here in the center. I'm going to put this on a foam mat. You can use a mouse pad or just a magazine, something to give you a good surface for stamping on. I've already got my stamp Merry Christmas adhered to my Fisker stamp press, and I'll be using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to go ahead and get this inked up and get that stamped, and then I'll erase those pencil marks. Scoot it over just a little bit and make sure I get this straight. Got a little smudge of ink right there. You know how I am about that. So I'm going to get that off because I definitely do not want this on the inside of my white card, do I? Okay. That looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and stamp. And if I didn't get it straight or didn't get it right, I'm going to have to cut out another card. Well, it's a little bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and erase my pencil lines. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my ATG gun and put some adhesive on the back of this and get this adhered to the front of the card. This is a white on white card, and it's going to be pretty quick and pretty simple to do. Now here's our card with those 3 liner panels adhered together and put on the front, and that gives it a little bit more texture and height without using foam tape, and it's more sturdy. And I wanted it to be thicker and more sturdy because we're going to put a wreath around here. And I found one that's really pretty in the Joys of the Season cartridge on page 66. Here it is right here. And then under layers, there's some additional pieces. And I cut this out at 3 1/4 inches out of some pretty green cardstock. And here it is. And I took those Royal Jewels from the Royal Castle shop in red, and I put those on here to look like holly berries, and I just used some little glue dots to adhere those down. I used my clear Wink of Stella brush marker and went over the whole thing to give it some extra sparkle and shine. Here's my gold wired ribbon. I think that's so pretty on there. And I found this at my local Dollar General. But you can probably find gold wired ribbon like this at Joann's or Michael's. And I took the extra pieces of the wreath and I popped them up on 1 thickness of foam tape just to give a little bit more height to this wreath. Now I've got this on some little tiny foam dots, and they're not real thick, but they will add just a little bit of height and dimension. And we're going to add that right there, just like that. That is so pretty and so elegant. And we're not going to do anything else to it. I think it's perfect, just like this. So let me get this wreath adhered to the front, and we'll come back and take another look at card number 7 in the 12 Days of Christmas Card series. Here's my finished card, and I think it turned out so pretty and so elegant, but it was quick and easy, and this one would be really quick to mass produce. On the front we can see Merry Christmas and this beautiful wreath, and what I like about using the wired ribbon is, you know, if you send this through the mail it's going to get squashed, but then when your recipient gets it they can just get it back into shape again because it's got those wires in there. And I love those red berries. And then you open it up, and it says Merry Christmas. You can see a little bit of the wreath and the ribbon through there. And you've got plenty of room to write an additional greeting right down here and sign your name. So there is card number 7 in the 12 Days of Christmas Card series. I hope you enjoyed this today, guys. I had a great time. Thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with me. And I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.